Forget superyachts, private islands, and fleets of luxury cars. The ultimate status symbol for the world's billionaires today is not something you can see from the sky. It is buried hundreds of feet underground. Welcome to the highly secretive world of elite doomsday bunkers. We are not talking about a damp, concrete basement stocked with a few cans of beans and a flashlight. We are exploring billion-dollar subterranean smart cities, built to survive the absolute end of the world, while offering the unapologetic luxury of a five-star hotel. Why are the richest people on Earth suddenly digging holes? Tech giants like Mark Zuckerberg are reportedly building massive, highly secretive underground complexes under private Hawaiian islands. Peter Thiel has aggressively pursued bunker developments in the remote mountains of New Zealand. They have the billions required to act on the fears we all share. Whether they fear economic collapse, extreme climate catastrophes, or a complete breakdown of global supply chains, their solution is identical. When the surface burns, the 1% will simply press a button, seal the heavy steel doors, and completely disappear. Today on Anime Atlas Tour, we are breaking into the most heavily fortified survival facilities on the planet to uncover exactly how much they cost, the massive machines that keep them breathing, and the terrifying psychological reality of living underground. To understand this extreme apocalyptic engineering, we must travel to the middle of nowhere, rural Kansas in the United States. From the surface, you see nothing but a wind turbine and a heavily armed military-grade guard post, surrounded by lethal high-voltage perimeter fencing. But beneath this quiet, unassuming field lies the survival condo. This is the absolute apex predator of the bunker world. Originally built by the United States government during the Cold War in the 1960s, this was an Atlas F nuclear missile silo designed to withstand a direct 1 megaton nuclear blast. Decades later, a brilliant real estate developer named Larry Hall purchased this abandoned weapon of mass destruction and transformed it into an inverted underground skyscraper extending 15 stories straight down into the Earth's crust. The outer shell of the survival condo is practically indestructible. The walls are constructed of epoxy-hardened concrete, reaching 9 feet thick at the very top. The entire facility is capped by two massive armored steel doors that weigh 16,000 pounds each. When these hydraulic doors close, you cannot bomb it, you cannot dig into it, and you cannot breach it. Buying a ticket to survive the apocalypse inside this fortress is exclusively for the ultra-rich. A full-floor penthouse inside this silo costs between $4.5 and $5 million. Because banks do not finance doomsday bunkers, buyers must pay in cold liquid cash. The residents are high-level tech executives, hedge fund managers, elite doctors, and top-tier lawyers. But human psychology is fragile. We are not built to live like moles. The psychological destruction of living without sunlight can cause severe depression and madness. To fight this, engineers installed virtual windows, high-definition 4K LED screens built directly into the concrete walls where real windows would normally be. These screens stream live feeds of the outside world, or any simulated environment you choose. If you're tired of the barren Kansas fields, you push a button, and your fake window displays a tropical beach or a dense pine forest. The screens even adjust their light levels automatically to match the human circadian rhythm, tricking the brain into feeling normal. Survival, however, requires incredible sustained resources. How do you breathe when the air outside is toxic, radioactive, or filled with biological weapons? The facility relies on a massive military-grade nuclear, biological, and chemical, or NBC, air filtration system. This mechanical lung pulls air from the surface, scrubs it through heavily monitored carbon filters, and sterilizes it with ultraviolet light. Furthermore, the entire silo is kept under positive air pressure. If there is a microscopic crack in the concrete, the air pushes outward, physically preventing any toxic gases or radiation from leaking inside. For electricity, the silo operates entirely off the grid. It draws primary power from a massive surface wind turbine. Because wind is unpredictable, the silo is backed up by multiple redundant diesel generators, with enough fuel stored to run the underground city continuously for years, supported by heavy-duty battery banks and geothermal temperature regulators. Water is the essence of life, and you cannot simply store enough for 75 people to survive for 5 years. Instead, the silo is connected to a secret underground aquifer. The water is pumped up into a 10,000-gallon reserve tank, before passing through aggressive reverse osmosis, carbon filtration, and intense UV sterilization. To prevent starvation and malnutrition, the survival condo utilizes a revolutionary, automated aquaculture system. Deep within the silo, massive tanks hold thousands of live tilapia fish. The nutrient-rich water from these fish tanks is pumped directly upward into an advanced hydroponic farming level. Under intense, specialized LED grow lights, residents cultivate fresh tomatoes, lettuce, strawberries, and herbs without any soil. The plants filter the water, which then flows back down to the fish, creating a perfect miniature ecosystem sealed beneath the earth. Alongside this fresh food, every resident is provided with a mandatory 5-year supply of high-grade, freeze-dried survival rations, ensuring that even if the hydroponic systems suffer a catastrophic mechanical failure, no one will starve. To prevent cabin fever and social breakdown, the silo is packed with luxury amenities. On the lower levels, residents enjoy a 50,000-gallon resort-style swimming pool with a cascading waterfall, a full-scale movie theater, a rock-climbing wall, a gymnasium, and a massive library. They have even built an indoor dog park for the Billionaires' pets, featuring self-washing AstroTurf to keep the facility smelling completely sterile. A fully stocked medical center and a dental clinic ensure health emergencies are handled internally. The buyers are specifically chosen to create a self-sustaining society. There are always trained doctors and dentists who have purchased their spots, so the blast doors never need to open for medical help. But despite the luxury and the flawless engineering, there is a dark, terrifying reality that these architects must face. The ultimate flaw in the Billionaire bunker plan is not radiation, it is human nature and the nightmare of security. In the event of a total societal collapse, fiat money loses all its value. The $5 million you paid for your penthouse means absolutely nothing. How do you stop your own heavily armed ex-military security guards from taking over the bunker and claiming it for their own families? This dilemma keeps billionaires awake at night. In secret meetings, tech elites have proposed deeply dystopian solutions. Some have explored making security personnel wear disciplinary collars that deliver electric shocks if they disobey orders. Others plan to lock the vital food and water supplies behind biometric vaults that only the billionaire's retina or fingerprint can open. It is a terrifying psychological chess game played in the dark, where survival resources are held hostage to ensure absolute loyalty from heavily armed guards. While the Kansas silo focuses on extreme vertical depth, the true titans of the survival industry look at massive horizontal expansion. Beneath a limestone mountain in Rothenstein, Germany, lies Vivos Europa One, a facility that makes the Kansas silo look like a basement. Valued at over $1 billion, this colossal complex was originally carved out of solid rock by the Soviets to store massive amounts of ammunition. It spans over 76 acres of blast-proof living space, featuring its own internal train system, a subterranean helicopter pad, and explosive-proof hydraulic doors. Vivos Europa One operates strictly on an invitation-only basis. Buyers receive a massive blank canvas of solid rock to build highly customized underground palaces, complete with private theaters and wine cellars. But it also serves as a modern-day Noah's Ark, housing a comprehensive DNA bank, storing the genetic material of millions of species to preserve the building blocks of life. The scale of these billion-dollar projects reveals a deeply unsettling truth about our modern world. The elite who control the algorithms, the markets, and the supply chains are quietly betting against the survival of the surface world, investing millions not in fixing the planet, but in escaping it. If the day comes when the sirens sound, the heavy steel doors will close, and the elite will swim in their underground pools while the world burns. But one terrifying question remains. When the dust finally settles and they emerge from their concrete fortresses years later, what kind of humanity will be left to rebuild the world? Subscribe to Anime Atlas Tour, share this video, and tell us in the comments. Would you buy a ticket to the underground or face the end on the surface?